but for everything we take ourselves to be, all of the ideas we've collected about ourselves that we actually use to feel a certain kind of pseudo stability. And it's pseudo stability because it's mind identified stability. There's a certain stability you can find in mind identification, but you have to kind of ignore certain things that are poking you a lot, right? They're going, wait a minute, though. That's you can't hold on to any of this. This is all going away. And you know it's going away. Like everything you learn, everything you collect, all your relationships, it's all going away. It's dust. And you know that. We all know that. But we can get into this mind identified state where we kind of ignore it and go into this stable process where we go into complicity with other people all day long to keep reminding ourselves to forget. Yeah. Everyone here can probably relate to that. So to really start to sense what it means to step out of that is fundamentally scary. It just is. So we have to give the ego its due, the self that we have identified with, that we take ourselves to be. It's a sort of entity in a way. It's a sort of life form. It's kind of illusory, but it's also a sort of life form that has defense mechanisms and has its own concerns. And you can't totally ignore that. You have to sort of sometimes pat it on the head and go, I totally get it. Yeah, I understand the fear. The fear is trying to protect me, and yet a deeper part of you knows there's some way past that fear, and there's something, a truth that is wholly beyond that. And that's where awakening really starts to light up. That's the red hot iron ball you can either spit out or swallow. To spit it out would mean to suddenly forget what this is, to suddenly forget that there is something beyond. That would be to spit out that red hot iron ball. It's not going to happen. But you also can't swallow it because you realize I can't, as what I take myself to be, force myself into awakening because I'm thinking I'm this small thing, right? That's opposed to everything and apart from everything. How can that suddenly know itself as everything or whatever? And that would be to swallow that red hot iron ball. So you can't do either one. So you come into this place that at first feels really uncomfortable and even terrifying, where you can't spit it out and you can't swallow it, but you damn well can't ignore it, right? And that transitions. This is kind of the second phase. That transitions from the really uncomfortable feeling of I'm stuck with, like, now I've started a process I can't finish, that I can't get out of. I can't stop this process. I feel something moving me, pulling me, and it can happen in a second, like it did for you in a retreat, or it can start suddenly. Over time, a little by little, where you just start to realize, like, wow, this isn't exactly what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be whatever my mind imagined, peace and bliss and this and that, and there may be aspects of that, and there's even mystical experiences beyond that. And yet there's also this very gritty emotional side to things, fear, shame, all the things we didn't expect. And you just go, whoa, okay, well, this is in a sense more than I expected. So that's the first iteration of that red hot iron ball. Then it progresses to this thing where you actually kind of fall in love with that red hot iron ball. And that's because you realize there's something so potent there. There's something so real there that it's blowing everything you ever thought you were away. And that's a good thing. It feels like you're walking an ancient path, for real though, like into truth right now, into your deepest recesses of self and beyond. And you feel that. And then you become sort of obsessed with that red hot iron ball. Now, understand, you may not be picturing a red hot iron ball. You may not use that terminology, but anyone who's gotten up to that edge with that initial awakening with Kensho, they know this experience. They know it's like this, you become so absorbed. It's like, at first you're like, I can't even look at it, but it's so powerful. And then at a moment later, you're like, I can't look away from it. How can I ignore this? It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's burning everything up. It's so powerful. And you just want to give yourself to it.